wanted to do a short introduction video for this video. I haven't done any introduction videos in the past for the last 3 videos that I uploaded, mainly because this will be the first video that sort of falls in line with the objective of my channel, which is to give information about how to travel around China. Since I currently live in China, my videos will mostly be about China and traveling to those hidden destinations that not a lot of tourists get to, mainly because they have no knowledge of Mandarin. So I don't know if you do know that English is very rarely spoken in China. So if you don't have a knowledge of Mandarin, it generally is very difficult to get to some of these places. So yeah, let's get right to it. Oh, this is so hard. So my friends and I start off our trip in Jinzhou, which is where I currently live, and we drive down to ShangHaiGuan. ShangHaiGuan is well known for this one location, which is called Laolongtou, basically where the Great Wall ends into the ocean. Usually this place doesn't attract a lot of foreign tourists, but a lot of local Chinese tourists do come here. So if you're not a fan of big crowds, you probably want to get here very early in the morning. We'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. To get to the more authentic parts of the Great Wall, which is what I generally wanted to do, well, myself and my group of friends, you would have to hike a very difficult track. You would have to go up sort of like a valley, and when you reach the top, when you reach the Great Wall, now this is the oldest part of the Great Wall, so it is, number 1, unaltered, number 2, generally a little difficult, and not a little difficult, very difficult and a little dangerous to hike, mainly because you are sort of hiking on ruins, so some of the rocks have fallen out of place. Some of the stones are quite loose and shaky, and you are basically on a hilltop and on the Great Wall, which is really, really high. So on both sides, it's sort of just like there's nothing. It's just like a drop down. But this by far is not a scary experience, or at least for me. I'm not afraid of heights. If you are afraid of heights, this might not be the best place to go, but if you're not afraid of heights and you're just sort of careful where you step, and you have a team, you're not alone, that is very important. You should not do this if you're alone. I have done this hike twice now, and I've always been with a very large group of people. We sort of help each other up. If we have to scale the Great Wall, or if there's no way up, we just like give each other a hand up. And yeah, when you get to the top, the views are just stunning. And it's not just the hike that is a great experience. When you get to the top, you get to go into the towers, and these are unaltered, just unrestored. They're not restored, they've never been restored. It's just 100% authenticness. And when you get to, you know, between towers, the hike is quite difficult, but when you actually get to a tower, oh, I can't explain how amazing that feeling is. And generally what my friends and I did is that because the hike between one tower and the next is generally very difficult, so in one hiking trip we would generally do like 2 or 3 towers, and at every tower we just chill, sort of enjoy the scenery, take a lot of pictures, and yeah, well, I really love these trips. I generally do. So, as amazing as the trip is, and the hike, and the friendships that you get to build, and all these amazing things, there are of course downsides to doing this kind of adventurous travel. And like I said, the first time that I did this hike in ShangHaiGuan, not only did I get very sick, literally every single person on my hiking crew, what do you call them? On my hiking group of hikers, every single person either got food poisoning. I remember throwing up on the Great Wall. Some people had like very bad food poisoning. I don't know if it was food poisoning or if it was generally from the water that we were drinking, but every single one got sick. The good thing is no one got critically ill, but yeah, that's one of the downsides of having to do these very difficult hikes and living in sort of just like not very good hostels. Let me rephrase that. The hostels are absolutely beautiful. The fact that you get to experience how the locals live, and you get to eat the local food. Also you get to wake up, because the hostel where we were staying was sort of like in the middle of the valley, and there was a lake, and you get to wake up to the most beautiful sunrise ever. And so that was the last time that I was there that happened, the food poisoning or the water poisoning or whatever that was. The second time, which is this time around, we got caught in the middle of a storm, and we were basically like 3 towers up and a very long hike back to the car. And you know, we saw the storm coming in, but we were just like, it will pass. But it didn't. So the storm came raining down, and I actually have a very short, very bad quality footage of us running back in the storm. I will give like I said, the first time that I did this trip, I don't have any footage of. I only started a couple of weeks ago doing, I opened my channel and I activated my Instagram account. So until a couple of weeks ago, I literally did not have an Instagram account. I was just like, yeah, I was living under a rock. But I'm the kind of traveler, I really like to experience the place where I'm traveling to. I don't necessarily want to take away from that by, having to videotape it or take a lot of pictures or be on your phone the whole time. But I've been traveling pretty much my whole life, and recently I kind of feel like I need to share my experiences a little more, mainly because my family and friends back home always hear about all these amazing things, but they don't necessarily get to see it, which is kind of sad. So yeah, if you think you would enjoy these kind of videos, just hit subscribe and give my video a thumbs up, and welcome to the team. Welcome to the team. What is wrong with me?